A very good evening to each and every one of us. Let me find out how we are doing. Wie geht es euch? Let me quickly find out if you are able to hear me from your end. I believe that I'm audible enough, yeah? Can you hear me? Sehr gut, sehr gut. Say Dante, they say gut, danke, sehr gut. Aha. Wie geht es euch? Wie war euer Tag? Alles gut? Alles nicht gut? I see you, Angela. You say mir sehr gut. Perfekt. Das ist wunderbar. Dante, you say mein Tag war gut. Das ist sehr gut. Nice one. So I'm glad to see that each and every one of us is doing all right. Now, today's topic is based on some of the mistakes I've realized most normally do, yeah? So I'd like us to go over this together because at the end today, I'm going to give us the chance to form questions with the above. So just grab yourself a pen and a paper. If you're ready to go, just go ahead and type in yeah. Perfect. I see we're good and set to go. So today I have selected some 4 question words that I'd like us to see in details how to use them when you're asking somebody a question. Yeah. Now the first question word I have is Wesen. Wesen. As you can clearly see, now Wesen in bracket. Let me write something down. So Wesen means whose. Wesen. So Wesen is whose, right? Wesen is whose. Now the good thing with this Wesen is that when using it in a sentence, you do not need to know the noun's gender. Imagine. The good thing with the Wesen, whenever you form a question with it, you don't need to know the noun's gender. So I'm going to give some examples with Wesen. And when you use Wesen, this is the order. Please write the following down. This is the order when you use Wesen. So you go ahead, you begin with the Wesen, and then you follow with your noun. So Wesen, and then noun, and then verb. Anything else comes at the end. This is the order. So Wesen, and then noun, and then verb. Maybe I want to ask somebody, whose book is that? Whose book is that? Now I'll simply say, Wessen Buch. So I'll go ahead and form it like this. I want to ask somebody, whose book is that? So you simply go ahead and say, Wessen Buch ist das? There you go. Wessen Buch ist das? Hallo Hamza Jakau, willkommen, ja? So, wessen Buch ist das? Whose book is that? And you can see the order. I've begun with Wessen, and then I follow with Buch. Those of you who are just joining in, let me say willkommen. Willkommen, ja? So, wessen Buch ist das? You begin with your Wessen, and then the noun, then the verb. Anything else comes after. So when someone asks you a question like this, whose book is that? I simply say, I could answer, das ist mein Buch. Wessen Buch ist das? Das ist mein Buch. Or das ist Peters Buch. Das ist meine Mutters Buch, etc. Okay, let me give last example with the Wessen, and then I give us the chance to do the same. I would like to ask again, even for plural nouns, you still use Wessen. I'd like to ask, whose books do you have? Whose books do you have? Now I will ask, wessen Bücher Wessen Bücher hast du? Look at the example. Wessen Bücher, oh, pardon that. So, wessen Bücher. Wessen Bücher, this is one word, yeah? Pardon, yeah? Bücher, B-U-C-H-E-R. So, wessen Bücher hast du? Whose books do you have? Then I could say, ich habe Peters Bücher. Ich habe Marias Bücher. Etc, etc. So that is the order for wessen. Remember, when you use wessen, you follow with the noun, all right? Then here's another one, wo. Now, wo, this one here, means where. Wo is where. And please, these three are always confused by many. Wo, wohin, and woher. Wohin, woher. So remember, wo simply shows or asks about location. When someone asks you a question with wo, you simply answer with where somebody or something is. Wo. When you're asked, wo ist Peter? Wo ist Peter? You now respond with the location of Peter. In wo, there is no movement. So here, I've said location, and then maybe you could also add something in bracket like this, no movement. When you answer with a question with wo, there is no movement in it. Yeah, no movement. Now again, this one is now related to dative case. For those of you who haven't yet seen on the issues of dative or accusative, yeah? So this wo is normally in dative because there is no movement. When someone asks me, wo ist Peter? I could say, Peter ist in dem Haus. Peter ist in dem Haus. Wo ist Maria? Maria ist in der Küche. So basically, you see, when someone asks you with wo, you simply answer with the location, no movement or anything. Wo wohnst du? Ich wohne in... Then you say the location, okay? But now wohin, now this wohin right here is normally where to. And the wohin is normally plus accusative. Now the wohin is normally plus accusative. Hello to you too, Sweeney. Those of you joining in, let me say willkommen. So wohin, where to. This one here is normally plus accusative. Why is that? It shows movements. When someone asks you, or whenever you ask a question with wohin, yeah? Whenever you ask a question with wohin, you have to use verbs of movement. That is always the issue, yeah? So that anytime someone asks me, or anytime you want to form a question with the wohin, yeah? Anytime you want to form a question with wohin, you will be using mostly verbs like fahren. Yeah, don't mind that this is not my handwriting. Yeah, I think the pen is too big. Okay, fahren, gehen, fliegen. So whenever I ask a question with wohin, yeah, it always goes with the verbs of movement. Yeah, I say an example from Queen. Wohin gehst du am Abend? Where are you going in the evening? Right. So always, when asking with the wohin, use verbs of movement like fahren, to travel, gehen, to go, fliegen. Where are you flying to? Where are you going to? Where are you traveling to? Right? So wohin is with verbs of movement. Where to? Then lastly, even in English, it is wrong to ask somebody, where are you going? No. Instead, you have to say, where are you going to? Not just, where are you going? All right? And then here's the last one which is now woher. Now woher, this one now shows where are you coming from. So woher now means where from. Where from. Now this one mostly goes with the dative again, plus dative. Someone asks, Woher kommst du? Where do you come from? Ich komme aus Kenia. Maybe they ask, woher kommt deine Mutter? Where does your mother come from? I could say, meine Mutter kommt aus China. Etc, etc, right? So those are the four question words I wanted us to see. At this point, then, I'd like us to form the following questions. Yeah. Here's the very first question. Are we ready? I believe you're certain ready. Yeah. Are we ready? So, you see, whenever I ask a question with the question word in German, mostly begin with the question word and then your verb and then your subject. Mostly that is the order that the question word tends to follow. So, now I'm going to give us the chance, this first round, I'm giving us the chance to form questions, either with Wesen, wo, wohin, or woher. So I'm going to be reading some few examples from us. Yeah. So the challenge is I'd like you to go ahead and form a question or to form questions using either Wesen, wo, wohin, or woher. Go ahead. I'll pick some few examples and then we correct together. Yeah? So go ahead, form any question with Wesen or wo, wohin, or woher. So I'm going to read some few examples. I see the first example is, so we're only using Wesen, wo, or wohin, woher. Sweeney, you asked the following question. Let me see. So I'll be reading the examples so that we correct together. Yeah? Now, Sweeney, you ask, Wessen Kleid ist das? Guys, whenever you're asking the question, don't forget your question marks. Yeah. So Wessen Kleid ist das? Whose dress is that? That is correct. Then you could say, das ist mein Kleid. Das ist Peters Kleid. Nice. Look at another example from Sky Joy. You say, wo ist das Kino? Correct. Wo ist das Kino? Where is the cinema? Someone could say, oh je, ich habe keine Idee. Ich habe keine Idee. So that's another good example from Sky. Let me see some example again from Agi. Agi, you say, you ask, wessen Auto ist das? Don't forget your question mark, Agi. Yeah? Wessen Auto ist das? Whose car is that? They would say, das ist mein Vaters Auto. Remember, when talking about possession in German, we don't include apostrophe. I simply say Vaters as one word. Wessen Auto ist das? Das ist mein Vaters Auto. Good. Austin, you form the following. Here is a good example from Austin. Wessen Tochter ist das? Whose daughter is that? Then I could say, das ist meine Tochter. Das ist meine Tochter. Paris, you say, wessen Kugelschreiber ist das? Wessen Kugelschreiber ist das? Now, whose biro pen is that? I could say, ich habe keine Idee. Ich habe keine Idee. Yeah? Drip, you ask again, woher kommst du? Where do you come from? They'd say, ich komme aus Kenia. Sky, wo ist das Kino? Das Kino ist in der Stadt. Sky, you ask, wo ist das Kino? They'd say, das Kino ist in der Stadt. And you see that, as I told you, that wo is mostly prestative. Wohin, accusative. Location, movement or change of state, and then woher, dative. Yeah? So another example from Queen. Queen, you ask like this. Woher lebt deine Partnerin? So because you're asking about where does your partner live, preferably now use wo. So you now ask, wo lebt deine Partnerin? Yeah? Because remember, woher is where from. Yeah? So because you're asking about the location of where they're living, you now say, wo lebt deine Partnerin? Where does your partner live? They would say, meine Partnerin lebt in Chicago. There's another example from Wiener. Wiener, you ask like this: Wo ist die Tasche? Tasche. Wo ist die Tasche? Where is the bag? And they would say, Die Tasche ist zu Hause. That was an example from Wiener. Wo ist die Tasche? Where is the bag? I could say, Die Tasche ist in dem Haus. Rose, you ask, Wo ist das Bibliothek? You guys have some very huge vocabularies, yeah? Sehr gut. Wo ist das Bibliothek? This is a nice word I like using for pronunciation. Bibliothek from Rose, yeah? Bibliothek. In German, by the way, the TH, don't say Bibliothek. No, Bibliothek. TH now becomes a T. Bibliothek, right? Like the other word, theater. So, Ross, you asked like there, wo ist das Bibliothek? Where is the library? That is correct. Sham, wessen Essen ist das? Rhyme scheme. Now, the Essen should be capital E because you're now asking as a noun. Wessen Essen ist das? Whose food is that? Sehr gut. When you say, wo ist die Tasche? Wo ist the bag? Wo ist the bag? Das Kino ist da drüben. Or, for example, Tiana, you want to answer, the cinema is over there. And you say, das Kino ist da drüben. Don't say das, but da drüben. Wo ist das Restaurant? Where is the restaurant? That is correct. Wo ist der Hund? From Dante Cacosa. Then Dante, again, you ask, wessen Handy? Wessen Handy ist das? Whose phone is that? Could say, das ist mein Handy. Wo wohnen Sie? From Sweeney. Wo wohnen Sie? Now, if it is in case, like in the example you've given Sweeney, if you use now a small s, Z, it now means they. Now the question is, where do they live? Wo wohnen Sie? All right? That's why I'm always telling us, you see, German, if in case maybe one puts a small letter, maybe it'll bring a different meaning, yeah? Assuming you wanted to say you, but you wrote a small s, now it will mean they. And that is why one has to be careful when the capital, small, etc. Yeah? Because if in case maybe you put a small or a capital, it totally changes the meaning of the entire thing, right? Often you ask, wohin gehst du? Where are you going to? Ich gehe nach Europa. Ich gehe nach Europa. Angela, you ask, wessen Auto ist das? Das ist korrekt. Wessen Auto ist das? Perez, you ask, wohin reist du? Where are you traveling to? Waidera, you ask, woher kommen Sie? Now, because you've used the small s, it now means, where do they come from? Yeah, where do they come from? Das ist meine Tante. And then, wessen Schrank? This word, Schrank. The Schrank can be compared with this, can be added with so many other nouns. This is the word from Rose, yeah? Schrank. S-C-H-R-A-N-K. Schrank now means a cupboard. Could be cupboard. It is so. Wessen Schrank ist das? Whose cupboard is that? So sometimes the Schrank is combined with other nouns. Bücherschrank, bookshelf. Kleiderschrank, a wardrobe or dress cupboard, etc. And then Dante, you ask, wo ist deine Mutter? Now the Mutter should be M-U-T-T-E-R, Mutter. Wo ist deine Mutter? Angela, again, you ask, wessen Kette ist das? Whose, is it necklace? Yeah, whose necklace is that? Nice. Let me look at another example. Someone says, konnten Sie bitte schreiben? Okay, kein Problem, Tiana. Hamza Jaku, you say, ich reise. A good example from you, Hamza Jaku. Ich reise mit meiner Familie nach Deutschland. Ich reise mit Familie. I am traveling with my family nach Deutschland, to Germany. You guys have some very nice examples. Once you get comfortable forming examples like this, by the way, once you are able to form examples like this, you should know that it increases your fluency. And that is why I'm always giving us the room or the chance to form examples. Even if you're making mistakes, keep on forming. You'll find that once you're able to come up with examples, you're on your way to being fluent. Yeah. Someone asks, "Wo ist das Restaurant?" Where is the restaurant? Wo ist das Restaurant? Sham, you ask, "Wo wohnen Sie?" Where do you live? Now, Skyjoy, you want to ask, where are you flying to? Where are you flying to? Right? Now, the order is this. You have to begin with the wohin, right? Remember, you begin with wohin, and then to fly, fliegst. Wohin fliegst du. Now, I don't say wohin du fliegen. Now you say wohin fliegst du. You can see you begin with the question word and then verb and then the subject. So wohin fliegst du, which now means where are you flying to? Where are you traveling to? Then you say ich fliege nach Deutschland. Ich fliege etc. etc. So remember it's wohin fliegst du or wohin fliegen Sie. Then you ask, wohin wollen Sie? Wohin wollen ist der Bank? So, because you're asking about the location of the bank, you should now say, wo ist die Bank? Yeah, wo ist die Bank? Where is the bank? Wo ist die Bank? Okay, because you're asking about the location. By the way, in German, the word bank can mean the bank we know, or it also means bench. So bank can mean bank or bench, right? Tiana, you say, wo lebt deine Partnerin? Good example from Tiana. Then Angela, you ask, wo ist Mutter? Capital M, yeah? Where is mother? Wo lebt deine Familie? From Austin. Where does your family live? Woher kommst du? Nice. So I see the examples we have here are correct. Yeah? Konnten Sie bitte schreiben, wo ist das Problem? A good example, where is the problem? Wo ist das Problem? I'm actually reading them out aloud so that we correct together. And if in case you need to write, if in case you need any spelling, let me know, yeah? So this word we've said, bibliothèque. This was the word. Someone is asking the spelling. This one is a moment. Bibliothèque, library. Okay. Tasche, no, it is not das Tasche, but is die Tasche, feminine. Yeah? There is a class coming that will be having a test on the Der Adidas. I'm organizing some pop quiz for us. We will be having some Der Adidas. So remember, it's die Tasche, bag, right? Most nouns in German ending in E normally are D. Most of them. Most nouns ending in E. Die Tasche, die Schokolade, die Melone, but not all of them, yeah? So let me read 4 more examples. Going to say, wo ist der Bahnhof? Bahnhof, train station. Where is the train station? But here's the spelling for Bahnhof. 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 So someone asks, wo ist der Bahnhof? Where is the train station? From Rins. And then also say, wo ist die Couch? Where's the couch? I see Hamza Jaku, you want to say, mein Handy ist broken. Mein Handy ist kaputt. How do you say, my phone is broken? And you say, mein Handy, this is the phrase, mein Handy ist kaputt. Someone is saying, my phone is broken. Mein Handy ist kaputt. Mein Handy ist kaputt. Kaputt, check the spelling for kaputt, which is K-A-P-U-T-T. Kaputt. Broken, right? Okay, I'm reading now 2 more. Wo ist mein Kuli? Check the spelling for that, yeah? Wo ist mein Kuli? Where is my biro pen? etc, etc. Wo ist mein Handy? So from the examples I've read from us, I see that we have now understood the various word order when you use this. So guys, as we conclude, remember this. Remember, whenever you use wessen, it shows you answer with the person owning it, right? Wessen Buch ist das? Das ist Peters Buch. So wessen, whose. And then we've said wo, where, shows location. And you can see, as we indicated here, no movement, right? In wo, no movement. All right? So in wo is where you ask, wo ist Peter? Wo sind die Kinder? Wo ist deine Mutter? Wo ist das Buch? So with the wo, you only answer with where somebody or something is. No movement. And then wohin now is where to. And we clearly said here, whenever you use wohin, please use these verbs of movement. Fahren, gehen, fliegen, reisen. Yeah, that is for wohin. Whenever you use wohin, you now have to use it with verbs of movement. To travel, to go, to fly, etc. And then in wohin, there is movement, so plus accusative. And then lastly, we've seen on woher. Remember, woher now means where from, mostly plus dative. Where do you come from? Where does your mother come from? Woher kommt deine Mutter? Woher kommt Peter? Etc. etc. All right. So for you to practice as part of your assignment, I'd like you to go ahead with your friends. Go ahead. Form as many questions as you possibly can using the verse and wohin. Yeah, find one or two people you can converse with, ask them a question. Entschuldigung, wohin gehen Sie? Ich gehe in die Stadt. Oh, good. Wessen Auto ist das? Yeah, because as I always say, the only way you get to be fluent is through practicing. Yeah, even if you don't have a partner, you can always record yourself and then you play back and hear how you sound. All right. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's class. Assignment is go ahead and keep practicing. All right. I'd like to say that that brings us to the end of today's class. I appreciate you all for being attentive. Das ist alles für heute. Tschüss und gute Nacht, Damen und Herren.